From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021, live and direct from Santa Monica, California this morning. In this recording, we go over the incredible great news about that recon that will be passing in the House of Representatives this week, if not today. This recon vote is done, and away we go, and we will be done finally with the House of Representatives with or without that Congressional Budget Office report. This means that recon will pay you about $15,000 across all these incredible clusters of checks. There's a lot of money in this recon, and that's before we get to the Senate. But no worries, you don't have to wait for the Senate, because guess what? There is $45,000 on average being gotten by viewers of this channel from third stimulus, and that money is available for you right now. You have bills to pay this week. That money can be gotten right now, and I'll explain to you how in this recording. We're going to turn over to also student loan debt forgiveness. The latest details on that as the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the bacon is brewing. We also got fifth stimulus coming across the board, and the big money for fifth stimulus is heating up. Then the exciting details that everyone has been talking about, the scandal, the controversy, and the intrigue. We have it all here as frame wars heat up. Those details and more as we go into a big morning, and I'm excited you're here. And this, my friends, is a big, bold, beautiful day with a lot of money, with $15,000 on the third stimulus, big money under fourth stimulus, and away we go. And the toast was toasting, and the butter was here. It's just time now for that moolah. And this is Mornings LA. Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And here we go. That recon will be done in the House of Representatives as early as today, as potentially as late as Friday, but likely Thursday night. The vote is happening, and the vote will prove that recon off to the Senate. We go with or without a Congressional Budget Office report. This recon has checks in there, lots of them. How do you get them? You watch the video. In this video, I'm going to go over these checks, about 15,000 of them for you across all these incredible clusters as the toast is toasting on a big, bold, beautiful day. But you don't have to wait for that recon, because guess what? That recon is preempted by third stimulus recon, which is already currently law, and that third stimulus has $45,000 on average being paid out to the viewers of this channel. I'll explain to you how to get your bills paid today from third stimulus. Get that pen and paper ready. Student loan debt forgiveness, well, the latest details on that. And then we turn to the big money under fifth stimulus, and you need it because guess what? That's where your benefits are going next year. The latest details on fifth stimulus as we go into a major recording. I'm excited you're here. And this, live from Santa Monica, is Mornings LA. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record, and 150 million views. Like this video and consider becoming a member. You found the place. The only place in America, the number 3 financial news channel in America right now that covers all these incredible programs that pays you money. You're going to learn how to get this money in this recording. Money right now, money right today, and it starts right now. In this video, we're going to first go over fourth stimulus, broadly all the different programs. Then we're going to go over the vote this week. Then we're going to go over each of these checks one at a time so you learn how to get them. Then we're going to step back into third stimulus and the money available for you right now, an average of $45,000. And then we're going to go over student loan debt and fifth stimulus. All right, here we go. This recon that's going for a vote as early as today, but likely Thursday or Friday, has a lot of checks in there. On average, the viewer of this channel will get about $15,000 of checks from this incredible fourth stimulus recon. These checks across all these incredible programs. How do you get these checks? Here we go. Cluster number 1, hazard pay, front-end check, back-end check. That's that earned income tax credit for 1 more year. $4,000 of elder care, front-end check. $4,000 of care for young children, front-end check. Then they got the home repairs if you live in a low-income community home. That is a front-end check. They got it in there. They got the CTC as well, the child tax credit, 1 more year, front-end check. And then they got $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. They got that in there, back-end check. There you go. That is the first of 3 clusters in this recon. And now we're going to go into the first of 3 add-ons. And the first of 3 add-ons got in there. What is it? Free money to go buy a house. Excuse me? Excuse me? Yes. Free money to go buy your first home. It comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters. She wanted $25,000. She got a number a little bit less. It is free money to buy your first home. How do you get this? Stay with me. Later in this video, I show you how to get all these sums of money. Let's go to the second add-on of checks, the second cluster of checks. Here we go. It is home repairs and paid leave, and it's deliciousness. Well, this is lots of money. Family leave, that is front end. The paid leave, the home repairs, front end. Pre-kindergarten, front end. The housing tax credit, back end. And that home repairs, this time it's for weatherizing your home. You definitely need to weatherize your home, because if you've been on social media today, you see there's just videos everywhere of Joe Manchin driving. Joe Manchin driving in the Maserati and then driving again in the Maserati. So if you see that horrible color of a Maserati driving up into your driveway, weatherize quickly. There we go. Let's go to the second add-on of checks. It comes from the illustrious Bob Casey, the wonderful senator from Pennsylvania. It is free home health care. How much? He wanted $250 billion. He got a little bit less. And that big money is free home health care for my seniors and people on disabilities. Let's go to the third cluster of checks, and here it gets really good. We got in this third cluster of checks for free school meals for all. We got in there cheaper prescription medication, immigration reform, farmers, then free internet. Then we got in there potentially the independent contractors, and then we got in the Medicare expansion. Well, they got 2 checks in on the House side, but Bernie wants to add 3 more on the Senate side. What are they? They got the Medicaid gap fix done. Then they got the hearing aid in this recon for the House side. But Bernie wants to add in their dental and vision, and also wants to drop the Medicare eligibility age. Which brings us to the third add-on, which is MSC, which stands for monthly or multiple IRS stimulus check. What's important to understand is that there's been 6 legislators who said they want to give it to you, and the 6 legislators are all senators. Senators have different opportunities to add MSCs in there, and that is on the Senate side, either during Vote-A-Rama or during the Senate subcommittee. Let's go over the calculations of those MSCs. The senators have told the viewers of this channel, thousands of them, that they want to do $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for up to 6 months. That would be 6 months of checks. Single individual, $75,000 or less, same eligibility. Married couple, $150,000 or less, double it, same eligibility. If you're on SSDI, you would get it. If you're on disabilities, you would get it. That's what they represent. It's not on the House bill. They need to add it on the Senate bill if they're going to they need to add it on the Senate side if they're going to add it. That's why it's important to allocate in your given week time to call the 2 S's, the 2 W's, and the 2 C's that have represented they want to put it in there. One person, Lynn Glenn, a longtime viewer of this channel, picked up the phone and advocated this week and was told by one of those 6 people they're going in there still. And those 6 people you want to call are the 2 C's, Casey Coons, the 2 W's, Warren Wyden, and the 2 S's, Sanders and Schumer. And there you go. But in a given week, you also want to give yourself 1 or 2 days for what else? To pick up the phone and get the big money under third stimulus that's available right now. In the second half of this video, I'm going to show you how to get this money. You need your bills paid right now. Don't look to force stimulus. Do not look to force stimulus to pay your bills. Get your bills paid today, right today, with third stimulus. I'm going to show you how to get on average $45,000 to pay your bills. It's coming up in the second half of this video. Then we're going to go over to fourth stimulus that's going to pay you additional $15,000 across all these clusters of checks. With or without the Congressional Budget Office report, the vote is happening. It could happen as early as today, but likely on Thursday. We have those details and more as we go into a big second half of this recording. I'm excited you're here. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds with the big money from third, fourth, and fifth stimulus. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on our Mornings LA broadcast. As the deal's done in the House of Representatives, we have a vote. And that vote could happen as early as today, and we are done with the House of Representatives. Away we go. With or without the Congressional Budget Office report, I have the latest details on the breaking news today. These programs will pay you about $15,000. Yes, there's checks, lots of them, about $15,000 across this incredible forced stimulus recon. But no time and place to wait for forced stimulus recon to become a law, because you can get money right now under third stimulus, an average about $45,000. Get that pen and paper ready, because I'm going to show you how to get that money paid for in the second half of this video. We'll be turning over to student loan debt forgiveness, and then we'll go to fifth stimulus. And then we'll get ready for a little bit of some frame wars. It's a big second half of this video. I'm excited you're here. And this, my friends, is a big morning's broadcast of a lot of breaking news of LA. So subscribe. 450,000 subscribers, a YouTube record, 150 million views in a year and a half. Like this video and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Morning's Crypto, live on air at 10 a.m. Then we go into noontime, live on air at 11 o'clock. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video and consider becoming a member. And away we go into the dramatics starting right now. The vote on your fourth stimulus recon will be happening this week, and it will be done. And we will be out of the House of Representatives off to the Senate. This incredible vote was solidified by a deal with the moderate Democrats and the progressives over a week ago. And the great news is that they're holding to their position. The deal means that the vote will happen as early as today, potentially Thursday at 11 o'clock at night, or potentially Friday. The vote is set, and they do not have the Congressional Budget Office report likely done, but not a concern, because the moderate Democrats say we have enough assurances from the White House and Treasury that the recon is paid for. So away we go. This recon, the House bill, before it lands in the Senate, has a lot of checks in there. Lots of checks. And those checks pay you on average about $15,000. So get that pen and paper ready, because I'm going to show you how to get these incredible checks starting right now. These checks start with the incredible paid leave and family leave, which is important for you to get, because guess what? If you live in a household and your son or daughter live with you and you don't work, they get it. So you need to learn the information for them starting right now. Paid leave and family leave, what is it? You have to stay home from work because of death, illness in the household, or birth of a child. All those three events, not COVID in nature at all. And the great news is that, yes, if you live with your son or daughter, they would get the money, even if they're helping you. So for example, let's say your son and daughter takes you to the doctor once a week. They will now get paid for that. How much is this? $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. $800 a week if you make $35,000 or more per year. $400 a week if you make $15,000 or more per year. How many weeks? 4 weeks. Wow, that's a lot of money. 4 weeks on the high end, that is nearly $5,000 to $6,000 per year. It's enormous. And the low end is still a few $1,000s. The great news is that it's all eligibility, all income levels, whether it's $200,000 you make or $20,000 a year. And then also all type of workers, W-2 or 1099s. And there you go. The second wonderful provision added in there is the SALT cap raised up. Currently, when you go to pay your state taxes, the amount you pay in state taxes is deductible on the federal tax return, but only up to $10,000 under the Trump 2017 tax overhaul. Now it'll be higher. Now you'll be able to deduct $72,500 on your federal tax return of what you spend at what you pay in state taxes. They got in there $40 billion of job training, which is great. It's totally free. And you may like this, especially if you're senior, because guess what? Under FIS stimulus, they're going to allow you to get back to work and still stay on benefits. So if you want to work a couple hours a week or a couple hours a month, you can, and also get free job training. They got in there the Medicaid gap fix, which is absolutely incredible. 12 Republican governor states did not want to pay for Obamacare. And now the Democrats have a solution. It's a workaround plan that will provide private and subsidized insurance to low-income individuals who are uninsured in those states. Incredible. Which brings us to the best provision of the fourth stimulus recon, which is housing aid. It's $150 billion just in this program. It is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, also for home repairs, weatherizing your home, and first-time home purchase. Now, sound familiar? It should, because third stimulus also had rent, utilities, mortgage assistance as well. Well, the great news is that third stimulus is still paying. And while you want to advocate for fourth stimulus, you do not want to wait for fourth stimulus to pay your bills today. Because guess what? I can get your bills paid right today. Because third stimulus, my friends, is still paying out. And the average viewer of this channel has gotten $45,000 of their bills paid under third stimulus. We're going to go over that right now. So get that pen and paper ready. We're going to go over rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, food, internet, things like nominal home repairs, small appliances, clothing, things like that. Here's what you need to know before we go into the details. You qualify. You absolutely qualify. You qualify whether you're behind on rent or not behind on rent, rich state or poor state, single, married, children, not children, retired, not retired, old, young. You qualify. Do not be a DNQ. You qualify. All right, let's go into the incredible details, starting with the rent. The rent is a lot of money, folks. It is an enormous amount of money. And the average amount of money for the rent was about this over 3 months ago. Wrong graphic. About this graphic, 20 to 30,000 about 3 months ago. It has now grown to $40,000 of rent. How are people getting this enormous amount of rent? One, they've gotten better at this by watching more videos. Number two, they've gotten multiple rounds of rent. Number three, they have heard my message that says you can apply for rent and get it funded in different places at the same time. So here you go. How do you get this rent? You're going to reach out to 6 places, and those 6 places are the following: City Hall, City House Authority; County Hall, County House Authority; State Hall, and State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. Now, here's the key things to remember. These are critical. Number one, you must, M-U-S-T, must reach out to all 6. Do not reach out to one and they say no and you stop. Don't do that. That's not how we do it. We reach out to all 6. If one says no, reach out to the other ones. They have different eligibility. Number 2, apply in as many places as you can and get multiple applications in the file and get paid by different places at the same time. Don't apply at one place and call it a day. Apply all over the place and then get funded at multiple places at the same time. Finally, get that money right now and don't wait. All right, utilities. The numbers on utilities were like this about 3 months ago, but now they grew to 15,000. And guess what? They're going to go higher. The Consumer Price Index report released last week, Consumer Price Index report, CPI, said that home heating prices have gone up 59% year to date. So these numbers are going to go much higher because your bills are going to be much higher. So get those bills paid ASAP. Lots of money and lots of money across the board. Get it by calling your utility companies, calling all of them, asking for utility assistance because of COVID. Next, you should not be paying for your food. You should be contacting SNAP and getting on SNAP. Where do you contact? You contact the Department of Agriculture and ask to get on SNAP. The eligibility is easy on the stimulus check. SNAP is money for food. And these were the numbers several months ago. They're much higher now. They're now upwards of $25,000 a year for Mark's brother-in-law. Yes, he'll be getting $250,000 from this channel over the next 10 years. You should not be paying for food. You should be getting on SNAP, and this is a game changer. Next, you should be getting multiple items. So here is Mark and Nancy. Nancy and Nisi had 3 items at that quantity. Mark, however, only had 2 items when he was at 32,000. I said to Mark, go get more items. Get your 3rd item. He did. And watch what happened to Mark. He went to 50,000 when he got his third item. Now Mark, since this graphic has gotten more items, he's at 100,000. Lorraine was at 105 when this graphic was made. She's now at 120,000. That's why you have to want to continue to push across the board. Which brings me to my example of Johnny. He's a great example. Johnny was one of 3 viewers several weeks ago who started the week at $0 on this channel. And by the middle of the week, they had gotten 3 items approved at about 45,000. They didn't know each other, just same results. Johnny didn't stop there. By the weekend, he continued to get more programs approved. And how many did he get? 7 programs approved by that weekend in 5 days. Yes. Now, understand, the reason I like Johnny's story is because he made a lot of phone calls. To get 5 programs approved, did not call 5 places. He probably called 15 places in 1 week. That's what you do. How much money did Johnny get? He got $80,000. He got $80,000 from this channel, and you see he's not in a rare circumstance. Now, the second part of Johnny's story I love is what happened the following Monday. He reached out to his family members. He said, I found this kid, LALATE, on YouTube. Oh, really? And what happened? I got $80,000 in 1 week. What? From what? Third stimulus. Third stimulus is just a $1,400 stimulus check. That's what I saw in the local news, the broadcast news, the print media. No, you need to stop watching them, Johnny said. There is more in third stimulus than just a $1,400 stimulus check. There's all this money. I got the $80,000. Johnny saw the issue at hand. Broadcast media, print media, cable news, local news will never tell you what is in the 4th stimulus recon. They will never tell you what is in the 3rd stimulus recon. And they never did tell you what was in the 2nd stimulus recon. They don't cover it. They cover Chloe and Courtney's eyeshadow. A search engine is not a news source. Asking your friend on the porch down the street is not a news source. This is the number 3 financial news channel in America right now because I cover the subject matter. No one else is covering the subject matter with 16 shows per day. Johnny said that to his family members, and they became believers. And by the end of that week, they each got $50,000. Had they continued to watch broadcast media, they would have gotten 0. That brings us back into 4th stimulus right now. Because remember, we left off with that housing section under 4th stimulus. Well, that housing section has other provisions in there, and I know you're excited about them. I am as well. Those other housing provisions in the 4th stimulus recon are purchase price for first home. Yes, so single family residence, first time home purchase. If that's you, there's going to be money for you during the escrow period. We're going to see how much it is. It is wonderful. No income qualification looks like at the moment. Then weatherize your home also looks like no income qualification. This is a grant potentially for those climate areas. And then finally, home repairs, low income. This will likely be a grant. You'll have to apply for the grant and get funded the free money for that home repairs in the low-income community. They also got $150 billion in there for home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. They got a $550 check for my Pell Grant recipients, and then they got $12,500 for the purchase price of an electric vehicle. This, you saw yesterday, was very fascinating. They're going to have to work on this language of this part of the recon because currently there's only 1 car that qualifies for this because it must be U.S. and made in U.S. and also electric. And there may be 2 more cars out of the list, but there's not a lot at the moment. It's currently $7,500 is the deduction. This is a back-end check. $65 checks per month for my people also in school. Which brings us to the best part of the prior recon, and that is the cheaper medication. 20 years ago, when Medicare rolled out, they could not negotiate prices of medication with Big Pharma. But that changed. The president got it in here. What is going to happen? Overnight, 20 medications will undergo good faith negotiations with Big Pharma. The most expensive medication, like arthritis, cancer, and diabetes, and those medication prices will drop dramatically, like insulin from $1,000 to $35. This is Medicare Part B and Medicare Part D. Starting with 20 medications right out the door, growing to 30 by the year 2028. The step up no more than inflation, and if Big Pharma goes higher than that, they will be penalized. And that penalty is a subject of discussion going into next week as a Senate parliamentarian will determine whether the penalty can go by recon. Senator Pat Toomey, Republican, says a penalty cannot be in a recon, and that's one of many provisions in the recon he's going to ask the Senate parliamentarian to review. She's also set to review the immigration reform in the recon. I don't think it's going to survive because previously she ruled it cannot go by recon. Also on the battleground is the paid leave. Now, it's fascinating because this recon, when I say $15,000 approximately, it's definitely probably undervalued because you understand everything under third stimulus that paid you $45,000 is repeated. And this is just the House bill. The Senate's going to add a lot of other stuff in there. Bernie Sanders says it's best bill since the 60s, but we have major gaps. He's adding stuff in there. Ron Wyden says is adding stuff in there. Chuck Schumer, Casey, Coons, and also Murphy. So get that pen and paper ready. Let's go over some big money, some other checks in this recon. They got in there front-end checks for the universal pre-kindergarten 3 to 4-year-old, back-end checks for childcare, front-end checks for the child tax credit for 1 more year, earned income tax credit for my essential workers, back-end checks, the home health care, likely just a covered benefit, and then the hearing aid, that's likely a check in the mail, if not just a covered benefit. We went over the rent. We went over the $550 check for my Pell Grant recipients and the $65 a month if you are a recipient of, if you're a student for food. But what other provisions could be added in there? One of the provisions that could be added in there is the provisions that Bernie wants to add in there. And what does Bernie want to add in there? When it lands in the Senate, Bernie wants to add in there lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and vision. Let's go over that right now. First, the current eligibility age for Medicare is 65. Bob Casey wants it at 60. Bernie wants it at 55. We'll see if they take care of it on the Senate side. Next is dental. Bernie wants this as 10 years of benefits. Will we get there? I don't know. He wants 10 years of full dental benefits. They couldn't do that. Then they went to 3 years. Then they left it out at $850 checks until it was removed. They were doing $850 checks, which is good, but not enough because it doesn't cover expensive procedures. So Bernie wants a little bit more than an $850 check. Then finally, vision. Bernie wants an eye exam and a pair of frames per year in this recon. To which I said, well, that's very simple. Just send out a check every year to my people on Medicare. That is an eye exam, approximately $50 at Costco, and a pair of frames, approximately $100 at a very nice frame store, and you're done at $150. Oh, no, you're not done. No, you're not done, because guess what? That has spawned the talk of the town, the scandal du jour, frame wars. Frame wars. People are not seeing eye to eye, and it started several days ago in episode 1 where one viewer said, you know what, my daughter buys me $450 frames, and that's what Medicare should pay for. Medicare is not paying for $450 frames. They do not shop at Fendi. This is not Gucci or the House of Gucci, and I do appreciate your Oscar nomination, but this is still not the House of Gucci. They do not shop in Paris, France, or let alone Paris, Kansas for frames. But needless to say, frame wars heated up today on social media. In episode 3 today, one viewer was tagging me on social media and saying, I get bifolds, and they're special bifolds with a special type of frame with a certain kind of color I like and a certain type of lighting. I need it this certain way. It's $1,000. Bernie, do it. Bernie, do $1,000 frames. They just do not see eye to eye. This is Frame Wars. And there you go. That's Frame Wars. Join me tomorrow as I expect to see more people in the live chat bringing their eye to eye. We see each other battleground over frames. They're asking now for MSFs, multiple seductive frames every month for 24 months, Bernie. Do it. All right, now let's go back to some of the other provisions in this incredible recon that I don't see eye to eye with some of the analysis. One of them is the child tax credit. I show it $60,000 or less. I don't show it $150,000 or less. And I show more money for housing and rent and the housing provision. I show it at 175. Some of the analysts are putting it at 150, 150 billion. In home healthcare, I also show it higher at almost $200 billion. Time for some student loan debt forgiveness. Student loan debt could be forgiven across the board, and you want that. That is $10,000 the president has offered them by executive order. Wouldn't have to go by recon. President already forgave student loan debt for people who became disabled, people who went into the nonprofit sector, and people who went into the public sector 10 years after graduation. The $10,000 offer the Democrats should take wouldn't close them out from getting more money later after. But that is where we are right at the moment. They should take it. It's great, especially around the holidays. Fifth stimulus and COLA. You're going to have your benefits go up 5.9% next year. If you haven't gotten the letter, don't worry. Everyone's benefits are going up 5.9% January 1st under COLA. But COLA is horrible. What is it? It's a benchmark by which they determine how much your benefits go up every year. And it hasn't worked. And that's why they want to get rid of it and reform the whole administration and the whole calculation. That left your benefits behind to devalued before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and even after the pandemic. So what are they looking to do under fifth stimulus? Raise your benefits up one big time to get you caught up. Then apply a new benchmark every December. That new benchmark would be inflation starting in December 2022. So you could potentially get 3 lifts ups in less than 12 months. This one in January, then the new benchmark, then the one-time lift up, and then the new benchmark next December. And they're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. Finally, if you haven't become a member, what are you doing? Get that news, become a member today. The link is under the video. Get that newsletter Monday through Friday that comes out at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system, which is also totally free. It is in the links under this video. The membership newsletter teaches you how to get these massive sums of money under third stimulus. When to learn how other viewers like Johnny and Mark got $45,000 or more. They got over $100,000. How did they do it? Get that newsletter, because the viewers that have gotten the big sums of money in this channel have not relied upon the volunteers. They did it themselves. The newsletter features the 6 places you reach out to, the words you say. It features the 5 nonprofits to lean on as well, because remember, you can get money from the nonprofits and also from the city, county, and state. It also features the Treasury statement about the additional $13 billion of rent that's going out right now in the last few weeks. You want to read that before you call up, because remember, there's money everywhere. It also features all the other important money that you can get under third stimulus, so that you can learn how you can be just like other people, averaging about $45,000, getting your bills paid across the board. And with that, let's go into my commentary as we go into a big, bold, beautiful morning. The toast is toast, and the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing, and the bacon is here. What is my commentary this morning? A mixture of a couple things. We have a little bit about West Virginia, a little bit about DCQs, and a little bit about this vote. Very fascinating report coming out of West Virginia this morning, which showed in new polls that Joe Manchin's approval rating in West Virginia has gone up astronomically in 60 days. Now, this shows you how things are very peculiar, and you can't make everyone happy. Unbeknownst to me, but reporting to you for the first time on this channel, West Virginia is the second poorest state in the United States, with a 15% poverty level. So you would presume that people with such problems would want more government assistance. Let's do some stimulus checks. Let's do some more rent and utilities. No. Reportedly, they want the reverse. They want less government assistance because they're very unhappy about inflation. So when they go to the supermarket, they don't think I need money to buy the food. They think, no, the food is too expensive. Bring the food prices down. So they're in the state of West Virginia, Joe Biden's numbers have dropped dramatically, and Joe Manchin's numbers have gone up dramatically in the last 2 months. Very, very fascinating. Let's go over to the vote. The vote will happen this week in that incredible recon, and off to the Senate we go. But what I've shown viewers in the last few days, and has really, really worked, is not to wait for fourth stimulus to become a law or for vote to pay your bills. Get your bills paid today from third stimulus. Third stimulus has fortunes, and you have in a given day, in a given month, a couple of bills in the household to pay. You have those bills in front of you, and you're looking at forced stimulus saying, I need forced stimulus to be passed so I can pay the bills. Wrong approach. You want to use third stimulus money, because third stimulus money is law. It's available right now. It's been available for several months. It's still available. If you got some of it before, you can get more of it before. And you don't want to wait 5 weeks or 5 months. You can get it right today. The success stories have started to come in already, with viewers turning around in just hours and getting hundreds of dollars in just in just one day of watching this recording this week. That is the power of learning. Now, in any live chat, in any walk to the neighborhood market, or talking with a cousin or sister, you're going to run into a DNQ. Do not qualify. It's that person who says they do not qualify. They do qualify. They just want to think in their mindset they don't qualify. I'm not here to record for them. I'm not here to teach them, because no matter what I say to them, they will continually say they do not qualify. An example was on Mornings LA today. Someone said, I don't qualify, but I really don't qualify because I'm a dependent on someone else's tax return. See, this is why you can't record for DNQs. They sort of start this narrative and they go off in their tangent. So what I want you to do is zone them out. If you see them around you, don't focus on them. Just focus on you. Focus on your learning. You have rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, food, internet, clothing, small appliances like small refrigerators, small repairs like a broken window. You can get that paid right now under third stimulus. Big sums of money, lots of money. No time to look to forced stimulus to say, I want forced stimulus to pay for my rent. No, you get the rent paid right now. There's a lot of it, and that's why I'm so excited. We have gone from no one reaching out to the volunteers on Saturday in 3 days, meaning 3 days, zero in over 3 days, to now 9 per day. At our highest levels, we are usually 16 a day. So imagine how dramatic a turnaround it is. They're ecstatic for you because they understand that now you are refocusing. Now, remember what I say to you is you do not want to have volunteers do it for you. You want volunteers to help you if you cannot do it. But I really want you to do it yourself, because the big success stories have been Nisi, Mark, Lorraine, Johnny. They did all themselves. You can do this. If you know how to pick up the phone and call your sister and talk for an hour about that trashy reality show you watched last night, you can pick the phone and get this money. Dedicate your time in the given week calling the 2 C's on Monday, Casey Coons, and the 2 C's on the 2 W's on Tuesday, Warren White, and the 2 S's on Wednesday, Sanders and Schumer. And then Thursday and Friday, call for this money or allocate the time accordingly. Give some time to advocate for money, and then advocate for forced stimulus. Give yourself some time to get that third stimulus money. It's important to understand that there are certain bills that everyone has, and those bills are getting paid for under third stimulus. And there are certain bills third stimulus doesn't pay for, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't get third stimulus. Here's an example. I always have had people for over a year saying, I have this car in the driveway and I don't have car stimulus. I've never had car stimulus on this channel. I probably never will have car stimulus. But I always use the example about cars. Why? Because everyone has a car to repair. And while I don't have a check, and there is no check to repair that car, there is checks to pay the other bills in the household. You go into a given month and you have 10 bills, and those 10 bills add up to a number. Let's say the number is $20, for example. I can maybe get $12 of that $20 paid for. And that $12 means that now you don't have to pay $12 out of your wallet for those bills. You now have that extra $12 to go fix the car. That's how you do this. Remember when we look at this third stimulus, it's not money just backwards. It's also money forward. So like Tyrone and his family of 4 out of Boston in December last year or November last year, they got rent all the way from, I think it was back maybe 2 months and then forward all the way to the spring. That's how you do it. You want to get the rent as far forward. I saw Nisi in the live chat last night. Wonderful viewers, saw her in the graphics. She was at $23,000. I would say to her, Nisi, go get some more money, get it again. You don't have to get the same location. You get multiple locations. The reason why I use Johnny in the example of this video, the example of this channel, is not so much the 80,000, but that he made those phone calls. He made 15 plus phone calls in 5 days to get 7 programs approved. I also love Mark's story. Why? Because Mark keeps on pushing at 32,000, then 50,000, then 100,000. He's not stopping. You shouldn't either. You shouldn't get one item and stop. One item and stop. There's one person whose name I recall, who I saw on social media this morning. And this is a person who needed help with rent in maybe the middle of 2020. And that person who said really needed the rent and got the rent via the help of the volunteer, did not treat the volunteer well at all, I have to say. And after that, I never saw from that viewer again. Never heard that the viewer ever got utilities or SNAP or the other items. And now that viewer's back again, sending messages on social media saying, we need to get that MSC right away. I'm like, wait a second. You got rent last year. You know how to get rent again. You can get rent right now. You can get utilities. That is how you want to keep your eyes open to get food, rent, utilities, all your utilities, and then get them in multiple locations. So Johnny, the reason why Johnny got to 80,000 is because he didn't get rent from just one place. He got it from multiple places. Getting all your utilities, not one, getting all of them. Not putting in one application, but putting applications everywhere. Getting funded from more than one place. You need to do the effort to get the money. You have to pick up the phone and call. You can do this. I know you can. You know how to pick up the phone. You know how to call. Because this sums of money are there. This is what separates you as a viewer from anyone else. Anyone else, they just think things are sort of land. Sort of like that viewer says, for the free home repairs, they just automatically send it out to every American. No, they don't know if you own a home or that you need the home repaired. That is the incorrect mentality. The correct mentality is getting this money right now. And the best mentality is getting lots of it right now, getting some more next week, keep on getting more the week after that, keep on doing this every single day. The more you watch the videos, the more you'll get used to the subject matter. And as Mark did so brilliantly, he said, that thing, how do I get this thing? How do I get that thing? That is how you apply the application. As one viewer said, he's a very good teacher, LA. That's what I aspire to do. I aspire to give you the information so you can go get it. And coming up next is Mornings Crypto live on air at 10 a.m. Then we go into mornings, then we go into noontime at 11 a.m. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000 to 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Join me next on Mornings Crypto, starting in 5 minutes.